Believe it. Okay.
What's going on, geeks? You're listening to episode 384 of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. My name's Cody Armour. I'm here with Lj.Lowery.
Let's go, bub.
And Shelley Nollan.
Hello.
This week, we're geeking out about Indie World, Marvel's first rated R movie, and TV shows based on video games, which I feel like that last one is something that we bring up at least once a year.
We've definitely had to bring up the rated R thing a couple times recently, too, but it's all good.
It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good.
Reoccurring topics.
Let's jump right into the games that we've been playing. LJ, I will let you start.
Sure, okay. I redid my list like multiple times because I played so many different things this week. But I decided I wanted to highlight some indie stuff, especially. The first one I will talk about, I haven't played a ton of, but it's probably the newest and hottest thing in early access right now. Moon Studios, the makers of Ori and the Blind Forest and Will-o-the-Wisps, they have decided they want to do a top-down isometric Souls-like. It's a loot game that looks. When you look at it, it looks kind of like Diablo on the surface, but it hits hard like a Souls game. This went into early access on Friday. Joe is actually covering it for the website. We got a review copy, which is exciting. But a few of us have got in on this, and it's pretty cool. It's still there's something about it. When they did there's certain shots and certain things they do. They definitely have an art style and just a vibe that's still to me is totally their identity. So it's kind of interesting because it's when you look at it, you think it could be another Souls or this type of game, but it feels like they have their own personality and their own style on it. So if you want to get into this, I don't know that there's a difficulty level. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's definitely a thing that's not for everybody. I will say that. It's just they decided, we want to do, it's a passion project. They enjoyed doing Ori and stuff like that, but this is they've been a company that's been known for their quality because they haven't put something out until it's been ready. But No Rest for the Wicked is in early access, and they are taking feedback into consideration. Performance issues were a bit rough. I don't know if they still are. I saw they had an update the other day, but I haven't played it since then. But it's fun. They're putting their own spin on everything, and I'm down for it. It definitely hits hard like a Souls game. But it's cool. So yeah, it's still in early access, but it's neat. I just think So it's one of those things where it's especially multiple of us on staff, where it's you can't these guys put out a new game, we had to check it out. So it's
them's the rules.
Yeah, so it's the Ori devs. They're gonna put out something great. So far I like it. The next thing I want to talk about is a game called Content Warning. And this game came out on April Fool's Day from a company called Landfall Games. I actually I've followed them for a bit actually on TikTok, and they're working on other stuff. But every year they do some kind of April Fool's game. I think the year before they did a small collection of prototypes and ideas that they had. This year they did pretty much a full game, which is Content Warning. They're known for making games like Cluster Truck, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, stuff like that. This game takes it mixes a lot of games such as Lethal Company is a big that's the big one that it's taking inspiration from. So think of games like Lethal Company, Phasmophobia, Escape the Backrooms, these co-op horror games. So the idea of this game is you get a group together, and the idea is to create content. And so what you do, one player grabs a camera, you can purchase all these other tools to enhance the experience, and then once you're ready, you go down into this underground area that's procedurally generated. You have 3 nights, and you have to get footage of scary stuff, of one of your teammates dying, or just you being chased or something like that. And you only have so much battery life, and you have 3 days. And oh my gosh, it is a flippin' riot. I'll have to send you guys some of these clips that we got. So I've been playing with.
So good.
I've been playing with members from Comics on the Cross, and we also played it this weekend for my buddy's 12-hour stream. He's been promoting his board game that's pre-launching on Kickstarter, and so we made promos
in the game.
Yes, in the game.
Oh
and I'm
my
just
gosh,
like, this is gold. It was perfect, and so yeah, it's a riot. We played 3 times this week. That's just how much fun we had with it. It's good. If you do want to check it out now, it's only still like $8 to $10, so it's like not that bad at all. Like it's cheap fun. It's dumb fun. They are adding more content to it. Like I think a few of the things, like a few of the tools were new from since the game had started. There's like a soundboard. You can get like a boom mic. You can get like an interviewer mic, and you can actually like point it at people, and that's to like enhance the sound and everything like that. I guess like the sound quality and stuff like that. So there's all these little pieces that play an impact on like you catching video of everything. It's got a bunch of like definitely creepypasta style, like escape the backroom style, like monsters and everything like that. It is it's stupid fun. The last game I played was just randomly. I checked out on PS Plus this morning. Been wanting to check it out. But it's Gigabash. It's a kaiju like fighting game, like almost like fighting game, like party game. It plays like King of the Monsters kind of, which is an older kaiju like fighting game. They added Godzilla DLC recently, which was kind of neat. I'm like, that fits. But it's a super fun game. It's definitely like one of those like 4-player like party games, like Smash or like Gang Beasts or like Animal Party or Animal Party. I think it is. I can't remember the name of it, but the other one that
Party Animals.
Party Animals. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, I was. But it's kind of like that. Super fun. They different types of monsters. There's actually a story mode. I never bought this game because I was worried that it was going to be exclusively multiplayer content. It's super fun though. I'm kind of glad I played it, especially since I've been on like a little kaiju kick. It's got a little story mode and everything. I'm kind of sad, like it's probably not going to have like much of an online presence, which that would be dope to really get into a game like that. But that's a fun one too, especially if you have like PlayStation Plus Extra. It's a good time. So a lot of indie games here. I've played a bunch of stuff this weekend, but those are the highlights for me.
Cool. Yeah. What about you, Shelley?
I played a little bit of Pal World, honestly, mostly to test out my computer again, just because
nice.
I haven't booted up any actual like super graphically intense games at all. Pal World isn't really that graphically intense either, but just of the games I've played, it is the most. And my old computer, I had to play in windowed mode, and I didn't have to turn down everything to low, but like most graphics to low. And now that I have my new computer, I also got a 144 hertz monitor. Yeah, it's nice. It's very smooth. So, and there were still some jitters and lags, but it's from an early access game, right? So I could tell that wasn't really my computer. So that was cool. It's Power World is I'm worried it's one of those games. I want it to be one of those games I could just pick up and play and just kind of like do, but I'm worried it's like one of those games that instead I'm going to completely forget how to play every time, and then I come back to it and then I'm like, what am I doing? And then get lost and then give up. It's like what I do with Skyrim. So I still like it though. I know they added more content. I did a quick little boss, and that was basically most of what I did. I still really only have fun exploring that game. The base stuff is fine. Just not really my priority. I know they added other items and things, so that's cool. I'm glad they're still working on it, but it's just I didn't get to play tons of it. But I also played more Stardew. Cody, I know you played more Stardew.
Me too.
I don't think I'm still not really far enough to have really done much with the new patch, new update stuff. I just think it's just fun to play co-op. I don't really, I guess, have much more to say about that. I'm excited to get like a dehydrator. I know that's a new thing. Yeah, just some of the new stuff. I'm excited to get to that point. It's just, we're still in the spring.
I'm too afraid to get back into Animal Crossing because I know my friends, a couple of my friends are. I'm like, I don't want that kind of commitment, so I think Stardew might be like the way to go.
Yeah,
you're still in spring year one.
On my co-op, yeah.
I am playing way too much.
I know you're playing too much because every time I boot up my computer,
seen it.
I see Cody playing Stardew Valley.
During my 12-hour
We are towards the
stream
middle
that
of fall, and we've played for 2 days.
Okay,
3
that's
days?
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're playing a lot. We're not quite in summer yet. We're almost in summer, but we're not
In my
there
defense, I'm not playing as much because the host is playing by themselves quite a bit. So it isn't the whole time. But they decided that the laptop that they had would work great. And so they went ahead and modded it, and then I had to mod my own, and we had no idea what to do with modding. So I've modded a little bit before, and I kind of knew the concepts, but what we were basically running into is we started just downloading everything that looked good.
Oh, jeez.
And
the
update
Minecraft
on
effect.
Stardew.
Minecraft
So-
effect.
Yeah, a
Wee
lot
woo.
of those updates, like a lot of those mods had to be updated and hadn't been yet, and so we were doing like these really old mods, and some of them weren't even that old. They were just that update came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I can play Stardew on my
Oh
Steam
yeah,
Deck.
mods. They got to update to catch up, basically.
Yeah, which props to the people that did it. Like I was reading about it, and I guess some people had their mods updated the next day.
Dude, mod creators.
community's
Shout out
crazy.
to mod creators. Shout out to the mod community. They don't get a dime 90% of the time. They work really hard, and they always have to pay attention to these new updates. I think of the I don't mod a lot of my games, but I do have some mods on some games, and the one game I really need to have mods is Beat Saber. So you just
yeah.
get different songs and different effects and things, and yeah, they just work so hard. They have a whole
there's a
website,
Dragon
whole
Ball
system, whole
Z
thing, and
Tenkaichi 4 mod for a PS2 game that still gets updates like to this day. It's crazy.
mods. Yeah, mods are super cool. Love modders. Shout out to y'all. Anyway,
I won't be able to stream this Tuesday, but I think I want to stream soon, just kind of show off. I have medieval buildings going on.
Ooh.
so cool.
Very pretty.
I'm about to download this on my Steam Deck.
I got my PC towards the end of COVID, so probably 2020, and it's struggling with the mods, which is crazy to me because Stardew is such a like simple looking
Not.
game.
Yeah. It's
I
very
guess
simple,
everything
but
working in tandem together though is probably where it's like
Yeah,
lot of stuff,
and I'm
yeah.
finding out too, like so. A lot
It's
of
like
the
mod
process
Minecraft.
behind a mod is
yeah.
yeah. You would think it would be like it would load up really easy. So there's probably I think we downloaded like 37 mods in total to get the aesthetic that we wanted, and so you have to think like each one of those mods has to boot up with the game.
it's so
And
much.
then
Imagine
some of
like
them-
Skyrim mods.
Skyrim mods.
Yeah,
People have modded all of
can't imagine.
Oblivion or all of Skyrim and Oblivion. I try to remember if it's all Skyrim and Oblivion or all Oblivion Skyrim, but people do that. People just do that.
You could legit play
Yeah.
Fallout 3 and New Vegas on like the same map now.
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm using for Stardew, it's called like Mappy or something like that. That's not right, but it basically like there's some of them that aren't updated yet, and it's updating it. It's trying to make them as like workable as possible,
Okay.
and so I imagine that's taking a lot of processing power for it to like look at a mod and go, how can I make this work in this system when it's not supposed to be working? It's pretty crazy. Also, mention this with Stardew. We're not even talking about Stardew. We're just talking about Steam at this point. But I got it to. I have that Kishi. I thought it had an N in it. I thought it was the Kinshi, which is a way cooler name than a Kishi.
Yeah,
Kishi's
Kishi's kind of whatever.
Sounds like a
Yeah,
food.
I always thought it was Kinshi. Which sounds cool. But I've never. I have that controller for a long. Have had that controller for a long time, and haven't used a whole lot. But now I am Steam linking to my phone, and you can play Steam games on your phone through that, which is like a over the internet thing. So wouldn't work for a lot of games. Even with Stardew, I'm noticing a little bit of lag, because I can't imagine playing like a big game. But perfect for these little scrolling RPG setups like this.
Apparently, I had
Everything's kinda
9.8
slow.
hours in this game. Those are rookie numbers.
In what?
In Stardew.
In Stardew?
I'm installing it to my Steam Deck, and I'm like, I only had 9 hours?
No idea how many hours. It's a lot. I love that game. But then I'm also got a Steam Link to my Mac, and so, yeah, I think that technology has grown a lot in the last couple of years.
Y'all are a
Oh,
bad
no.
influence.
LJ literally is
Oh
downloading it.
man. Oh man, join the cult.
Oh.
Join us. Become
But
a farmer.
The fact that I can, like, mod a game and then play that modded game on my phone.
That's pretty crazy.
That is pretty cool.
Crazy to me. I mean, I grew up with like the NES and the Super Nintendo, so the distances we've gone is pretty.
It still trips me out. Like the certain games, like you can play like in mobile format these days. I'm just like, if I was a kid, my mind would have been blown. Like,
yeah, it's pretty neat. So, yeah, I suggest that and get a controller. Get Steam. Download all the mods you want for Stardew. Pull your.
You
hair
can
out,
legit
then...
hook up your PlayStation or Xbox controller to your phone now too. So just get one of those.
So if you don't want to pay for a whole
Yeah.
Kishi, because that was like an $80.
One of those like controller.
$80?
I think it's 60 now. It might have.
The backbone is pretty expensive too.
Yeah, the price, but what you're saying with the PS5 controller, you can get like $20 adapters, $25 adapters on Amazon that will just turn your controller, your PS5 controller, and do like a clamshell to your phone.
Yes.
And you can play the controller that way, which is pretty neat. And like if you have service, depending on where you're driving to, you can play your Steam games in your car now. Like
I can legit run like remote play. Like you can do like on PlayStation now, like the Xbox.
Right.
I've been using the 5G on my phone to play video games. It's crazy.
That's so wild.
Yeah. Like I don't even need a Wi-Fi connection. We're in the future, guys.
Yep.
That's all.
Future is now.
Skyrim is fun. Yeah. Yes. The future is now. We're gonna talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
For better and for worse.
Definitely.
But before we do that, I'm jumping ahead. LJ, what's going on in the gaming world?
Yeah. So we got nothing too crazy today. So the first thing is the Indie World Showcase. I guess I was keeping it thematic with my indie, with my own little indie showcase. So let's see. I'm not gonna talk about all these just because some of these are just kind of like whatever. The first one I want to talk about just because like it's definitely relatable to me is since I have a cat now, Little Kitty Big City is like looks so sweet and so chaotic. You can literally trip people in the game as the cat, and I'm like, that's my cat right there. Like they would be homies because they like trying to trip people. So like every day, that happens in my household where the cat, that game just looks fun. It looks like another cat simulator. Like I want it to have that Stray effect. Like whenever you play Stray in front of your cat, they trip out. Like I want this game to have that effect. Yeah, like my cat literally attacked the screen like when I showed her Stray, so I'm gonna attempt the same thing with Little Kitty Big City. Just hopefully my TV doesn't get broken.
I'm excited for that game. It looks so cute. It looks so fun.
Yeah, no, it does, and I think that's another one that's coming to Game Pass because it turns out a couple of these are coming to Game Pass, or at
that's
least
what I've heard.
Nice.
That's what's great about Indie Directs is that a lot of them are like aimed towards indie or towards Switch owners, but a lot of them go on PC or
and then their console.
systems.
Some of these are like what they called timed exclusives.
Right, yeah. There were like 3 or 4 of those. Of like console time exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Timed console exclusive, that's what it was.
Yeah. Almost like world premiere.
Yeah. World premiere, thanks Game Awards. Thanks, Jeff Knightley.
So one of them that kind of looked goofy and fun to me was Anton Blast. That game looks kind of fun. Whoa. Oh, that's just like okay. Another one. Europa, I guess, was another game that was on Apple Arcade that I guess is coming to Switch or came to Switch. I think it comes out very soon. The one that I am very excited about, and I think Shelley was probably going to check out too, is that TMNT Splintered Fate, which I love the pun in the title. And that's a straight up Hades clone.
Yeah, it's just a roguelike kind of
a co-op Hades clone.
Yeah.
With the turtles. You can do there's like the hub and everything, which is their home. That looks awesome. Like I want to get my nephew in on that and just have a good time.
Yeah, I'd love to play with Daniel for sure.
Yeah,
be a good time.
That'd be like it's like what if Hades was co-op? Like
which Hades 2, take notes.
Yeah. So that looks good. Anything TMNT I'm down for. Like, even though they even have this, like, kind of generic looking, like, beat 'em up game that was stuck on arcades coming out, like, this week, too. Cat Quest 3 looks awesome. The Cat Quest games are great. Actually, I can't say for sure Cat Quest 2, because I guess I've never played it, but Cat Quest is one of those games that, like, a couple of us on staff have definitely got into. Like, I have Cat Quest 1, and it's great. This one, for whatever reason, there's a bit of a pirate theme, this Indie World Direct, and this is definitely a pirate theme. You can have your own little ship and everything. And I love how the joke we were running was like, "Oh, looks like a better pirate game than Skull and Bones." I think Shelley said that actually specifically.
Yeah.
So that was funny. I was like, you know what? I kind of like Skull and Bones, but I agree. Like, it's probably still going to be better than Skull and Bones. And then Stitch is another game that was stuck on Apple Arcade that is now on Switch. That was a shadow drop. That game looks cute. Let's see what else here. Animal Well, I think isn't that one of the ones you were interested
Animal Well, yeah, I'm gonna probably pick that one up.
Yeah, because you played that at PAX or something, didn't you?
Yeah, I played like a little demo at PAX.
Nice.
Very neat game. Totally right up my alley. It's like a, I don't know. When I play Rain World, it's funny because I actually played Animal Well first again at PAX. It kind of Rain World reminded me of Animal Well, where it's like you're kind of just. You have very few abilities, right? You mostly like move and jump for the most part. You don't know where you are. This is a weird little environment. There's weird animals around. Very cool. I like the atmosphere a lot. Seems neat. So yeah, I'm excited to get that one.
Yeah. This game is actually coming out this week, but they brought attention to Another Crab's Treasure again, which is that game looks awesome. Like, I'm probably gonna buy that game, even though it is coming to Game Pass. It's like the Crab Souls like thing. It just looks so good. I'm probably gonna buy it. And then Steam World Heist 2, which is another. That game looks. The first one was really good. This one actually has another pirate theme to it. Which the first one was all space stuff, like space pirate themed now, and they're going like actual pirate themed.
Yes.
So. It looks good. It looks fun. Like, I recommend I've played most of the SteamWorld games at this point. I've not played. There's like a card one that I actually haven't played, and then they have like SteamWorld Build or something that came out recently. But I like what these guys do. They make some fun games. So SteamWorld Heist 2 looks awesome as well. So yeah, that's kind of what happened with the Indie World thing. There was no Silk Song like people wanted. So I just want that for the people now. Like, I'm not even that big of a holiday fan, but yeah. So the other piece of news is the company Embracer Group. They're mostly known for owning publishers like THQ Nordic. Now they own the Tomb Raider developers, Crystal Dynamics. They own Eidos, which Eidos has been responsible for a bunch of games like Deus Ex and stuff like that. They also make all the Lord of the Rings games. Like, I guess they picked up the rights to the Lord of the Rings games, which I think just today a trailer got put out for this new Hobbit themed video game. That's supposed to be like sim like farm sim like. So I know we're just talking about Stardew, so you might want to look at that.
Yeah.
But they split off. I think it's called Shire. That's like Shire Tales or something. Tales from the Shire or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it probably doesn't look great. I'm just like, hey, we're talking about Stardew. But so there's 3 companies. There are one of them is they actually own Asmodee, the tabletop company.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing this.
Yeah. So let's see. So that's Asmodee, which is tabletop game publisher and distributor. Coffee Stain and Friends, which is indie and AA and free to play games, PC and console and mobile. So this is going to be like their indie. I think Coffee Stain is literally the name of a developer. That's probably why it's called that. Coffee Stain and Friends. And then this one, Middle Earth Enterprises and Friends, and which is a lot. To me that's like a mouthful trying to say all that. So AAA games developer and publisher for PC and console, including Lord of the Rings and Tomb Raider. Okay. So they haven't specifically said where all these properties are going to end up, but I think we have a pretty good idea. So it's just interesting. Like, I know they just had layoffs and everything, and they were making changes to, like, specifically for budget, I guess, and everything like that. So hopefully this helps this company that actually owns a ton of properties. Like, as long as these properties are able to stay alive and we're able to get new ones, cool. And as long as you treat your workers nicely and you don't lay them off again, cool. So that's not much to say there, but yeah, it's just we kind of were talking about like corporations and stuff a little bit earlier off, before we started recording, and the Embracer Group is one of those ones. It's like with like Tencent and stuff like that. You're always going to hear about them in the video game space. So that's where they're at these days, and that's for gaming news.
Cool. We will get into movies then. Shelley, we'll start with you.
Y'all.
I'm so curious.
Y'all need to watch this movie. It's so funny. It's so good. It's called Hundreds of Beavers.
I've heard about this
You've heard
movie.
about this?
I have not.
You've heard great things. I think it's like 95 on Rotten Tomatoes right now or something.
So it's one of those
great.
movies where nobody really says much.
Yeah.
Except for you. Do you need to watch this?
Yeah, basically. I will say, so the way it's shot is super interesting. It's low budget. I think the whole movie costs only like $150,000 or something, which for movies is very cheap. Something in like the 100,000.
I'm not even sure
range.
I want to like actually look this up. I just want to like watch it. And,
It's the way it's shot is very interesting. You're right. I guess I don't.
Godzilla Minus One had like $8 million, and that was considered a low budget.
Exactly.
Movie.
Yeah, this is like made by. It is like a full team, but it's like mostly one guy. But I think it's a full team. But yeah, it's just about a guy who ends up needing to become basically a trapper. So he traps like
that's
beavers,
right.
rabbits, raccoons. Yeah, it's shot. It's supposed to be. It's sort of like meant to mimic sort of Charlie Chaplin era. Black and white.
Okay.
Very little
exactly.
dialogue.
Okay. The
music's pretty great. And
I've heard it's really good, surprisingly.
It's basically live action Looney Tunes. There are such funny bits that just
and it's
go
like
on
a full-length
for the whole
movie, right?
It is, yeah, it's a full-length movie. But so many times I'm just like, this just looks like it's straight out of Tom and Jerry or, something like that. Like that sort of humor. But again, it's like live
Video?
action. All of the, not all animals. So the smaller animals that are featured are puppets, like really well-made puppets. But then the bigger animals, like rabbits and raccoons and the beavers, they're just dudes in costumes. And something about that just makes everything so funny. There's just like, I almost like don't want to spoil it because it's very nonsensical and unhinged. And it's also kind of surreal in a way. Like you kind of have to like stretch your imagination with what's being given to you, and you kind of have to piece everything together. But there's also some really fun like video game imagery and stuff too. Like there's a moment where he basically is like he finds someone who's selling stuff, right? Trading in skins for weapons and things, and it's like it straight up plays like shop music. Like it sounds like it's straight out of like Ocarina of Time, like shop music, and he's like, oh, what do I want to unlock? What's the next thing that I want to get? And it's just like very gamey. It's so good. It's just really enjoyable. I wouldn't say it's for kids. I would say it's for not just kids. There's just some incredible violence, but it's not the jokes is that it's not really violence because there's no like you'll know what I mean when you see it. You kind of like know what I mean.
This just came out,
but definitely not for kids.
To rent or buy. That's pretty neat.
I wouldn't say it's like a hard radar. There's just some things that I'm not going to spoil that you don't want your kids to see per se, but highly recommend. It's like $6 renting. I watched on Apple TV. I think you get on Apple Prime as well. Amazon Prime, sorry.
Yeah, it's like available everywhere to rent or buy now, which is really cool.
Yeah, so yeah, it comes highly recommended. I was laughing. It's so funny because I was telling my husband, I'm like,
and it's a full-length movie, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, Daniel, like, I really want to watch this movie. It's called Hundreds of Beavers, and I was like, not doing a very good job describing why I want to watch this movie because I just heard it's so good. And then, so we didn't watch it. Next night, we're hanging out with friends. One of my friends is saying, hey, so I've heard about this movie called Hundreds of Beavers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I feel so validated right now. So because of that, we ended up watching it, and my husband even said, he's like, if I'm not cry laughing at this movie, it's not worth it. And lo and behold, he was cry laughing. So
That's awesome.
highly recommended. I won't say
TikTok
more.
like I do everything else these days.
All I know is that I want to be a beaver for Halloween. That's
Oh
how
my gosh,
that's how I'm
that'd be
feeling.
hilarious.
That's what I watched this week.
That's awesome. What about you, LJ?
So I didn't finish all of it just because, like, I actually ended up watching more of it this morning before I went to work. But I finally watched, after all these years, after you've been talking about Cowboys versus Aliens, or is it Cowboys and Aliens? I finally started watching it. We finished we started another chapter of our sci-fi D&D campaign, and I was like, I don't want something like super like serious like Western thing, because like we were already kind of like heavy on like when we were playing. So I was like, you know what? I was like, what's Cowboys and Aliens on? And I was like, oh, Netflix.
Cowboys and Aliens. Daniel Craig, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So weird.
And it apparently it leaves Netflix on April 30th. So I'm like, okay, cool. I definitely got to watch it now. It's not terrible so far.
I love that movie so much.
It's
I
like
remember watching the beginning of that movie and going, I just want a Western now. I don't even care about the aliens.
Yeah, that's where I was like, oh, okay, you got something going here. I just got to the part like where the aliens first start really like attacking, and it's not really that far in, but like, it's fun. Like I'm genuinely gonna like.
It's almost as if it wasn't their full intention to bring aliens in, and then as they were writing, where they were just like, but I want to do aliens.
This ain't gonna work.
So
just a Western, only a Western isn't gonna make us money. We got to do something else. Like it was like they're in a pitch
what do we
meeting.
need? Aliens.
Yeah, there's like a pitch meeting, and it's like one guy's like, "Oh, how about a Western?" And then the other guy's like, "Ah, that's too boring. What about aliens?" And then somebody goes, an executive goes, "Huh, all right, let's run with that." You know, like so.
I would be down. I'm surprised we don't have more of like we have a lot of Western movies, but I feel like they try so hard to be these big dramas.
Yeah.
It would be cool to have more like an action film. I guess, was it Ridiculous? Not Ridiculous 6. What was the one with Chris Pratt in it?
Oh, Magnificent Seven, the remake. That's okay. Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
There were so many. So it was Ridiculous 6, Magnificent 7, and Hateful 8. They're all westerns. They
Yeah,
all have
yeah.
nothing to do with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that would try to be kind of an action film, but it would be cool to get kind of into this like action star James Bondian like western would be cool.
Yeah. And I wanted to hear Daniel Craig like speak, you know, like just like I was like
With a western accent.
that was kind of so that was kind of like what I was looking forward to at first. Like I was like, I want to hear him talk. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, he does have his role in Knives Out and Glass Onion and stuff like that too, but that's still like a very much characterized like voice, so I was just like, I want to see like if he does like the quiet cowboy, so
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so
It's a better movie than it should be.
it's stupid fun so far. Harrison Ford's in it, and I was like, oh yeah, because like I was just talking about Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford being General Ross is like confirmed at this point. So I was like, oh cool, Harrison Ford, right on, he's in this. Like I was just talking about him.
I forgot that he was.
Yeah, so this is it was fun. Like I was like, you know what, it's worth talking about, especially because like it's been mentioned in this podcast multiple times at this point. So
sure.
I'm gonna finish it. Like I hadn't really watched a movie in the last couple of weeks, and I'm like, okay, even if I watch part of one, like I need to like talk about one. So
It does sadly not really get better. It's got a real strong start and then just kind of like tapers away.
Wow.
I mean,
wow.
yeah, like
But it starts really well.
I had my expectations extremely low anyway, so I'm like, I was expecting
so-
maybe something much worse than the way it started. So I'm like, okay. I mean, it couldn't be worse than Wild Wild West, right? Like,
Yeah, I was on board with the movie until mild spoilers.
yeah,
The aliens are after the gold on our Earth.
yeah.
Because of course they are, because it's a Western and you have to be about the gold.
The gold.
It's so silly.
Whole new kind of gold rush.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They're after our gold.
Yep.
I also watched a ridiculous silly movie, and that was Godzilla X Kong New Empire.
Yeah, I need to watch it
Let's
still.
go.
Yes. If you haven't seen Godzilla -1, go do that.
I really want to. I just don't know where.
That's
Yeah.
a much better movie, but this isn't bad.
I would
It
almost feel bad if I watched this before -1, like... Which is probably going to happen because -1 probably won't come to us like for another few months, like on Blu-ray.
May 3rd. I just looked that up the other day.
Is that like the Amazon Japan release? I thought that was because there's like a steelbook coming out.
I might have been wrong.
Yeah. Anyway,
but no, it's a fun movie. It is not plot heavy at all. It's literally you wanted to see UFC Fight Night, big monsters. That's what you're getting. They just full on were like, hey, you guys don't like people in our movies? This will just be about giant monsters fighting.
Wow.
And so if that's what you want, it's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Kaijus be kaijuing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Just be signed up for it. It's just monsters fighting.
I mean, that's what we want out of those movies anyway, so it's like, all right.
Yeah, so I can't complain too hard. The one thing that I thought was really interesting is just how, like, plot-wise, it feels like those old, weird 70s sci-fi movies.
I like that. Because I think there's a particular era they're going for, too. Like, with Godzilla.
It gets really weird, story-wise.
I mean...
Okay.
Like, anime... Almost anime levels, it sounds like.
Yeah. I don't want to give anything away. It's just not what you see in... Like, it reminds me of, like, Planet of the Apes 3.
What? Okay. Okay.
It's a very specific movie, but like Planet of the Apes just gets really
it's like
weird after a while.
I was playing Gigabash today, and there was like this like reference to like a Hollow Earth or something like that, and I'm like, that's original.
I mean, Hollow Earth in general is kind of an old like 80s.
It is
like weirdness to it.
Yeah.
I will say my biggest downside to it was that Godzilla really didn't have much to do.
Yeah.
It was mostly a story about Kong.
I'm a Kong boy.
Godzilla's
Team Kong.
Going about being Godzilla.
I literally have the jersey to back up Team Kong. So
for Team Kong, it's a Team Kong. But my issue.
We're done with Team Edward and Team Jacob. We're on the Team Godzilla, Team Kong. I love it.
Team Kong. After Godzilla -1, I'm full Godzilla. But I felt like the last movie was really smart in that they were very Kong heavy in the story, but the last battle was about Godzilla's villain.
They did both. I feel like they handled both very well, yeah.
And so I thought that's kind of what would happen here, is that it would be very much Godzilla's story, but then kind of like culminate in being Kong's fight.
Yeah.
And it was very much just more Kong's story. You could tell the writers really kind of lean towards... I think it's easier just because Kong has more of a human side to him.
They gave Godzilla his recognition in the previous movie too. It's like, oh no, Godzilla's the real king here. Like, you know, like kind of a thing.
Yeah. So I wish I would have seen more Godzilla. Godzilla's just going Super Saiyan through the whole movie. He's just powering up the whole time, making that spirit bomb.
I am excited. They're putting out I don't own any. I own a couple of them on digital, but there's $100 like 4K collection that they're putting out like in the next couple months in May when New Empire comes out, and it's gonna have all the MonsterVerse movies in one package, and I'm like, I'm buying that. So
that would be
yeah.
That would be cool. It's too late to make a Godzilla movie again. I would like to see this Godzilla be like the villainous Godzilla again for a little bit, but because it's terrifying. He's absolutely brutal.
I do hear that whatever they do next, I hear they kind of do need to like up the ante on villains, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
As far as what I've heard, because like I guess I don't know if Scar was big and bad enough, but that's just I haven't seen the movie, so I'm like, they really have to like put it, if they do another one of these, they got to put another like.
That said, I don't want to say that it was a good movie or a bad movie. Either way, I think that it depends on what you're looking for, and if you're looking for giant monsters fighting, then you 100% what you're gonna get.
Popcorn movie.
Yeah, it's good. I didn't say I want to say. I just said that I was gonna do that, but I liked it because I just wanted to see monsters fight.
Heck yeah, we take that.
Yeah.
-1 almost does this movie such a disservice because it's like, oh, that's what these could be. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's why Skull Island being good was like surprising, because I think people had low expectations because of like, you know, the 2014 Godzilla. Mm-hmm. And then that one actually turned out to be like, oh, okay, y'all got something here.
Yeah. But that's it for the movies I'm watching.
Nice.
What's going on in the movie news?
News. So, we have a couple trailers to talk about. Probably the one that everyone's most excited about is the Deadpool and Wolverine, third Deadpool movie, and it's very MCU connected. I mean, the first trailer was too, right? Where it's straight up was talking about the TVA, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
But here we're seeing like random shots of like they're jumped through one of the Doctor Strange portals. There's a giant Ant-Man suit, which like I did a double take because I'm like, is that really Ant-Man? It is. Like I was just like, that's so weird. Like I mean, there's crazy things happening. There's other X-Men that we could sort of see as well.
The X-Men fan in me
Hugh
was
Jackman
pretty happy
just
too.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman looks like he's back in his element, kind of.
Like,
I don't know. I'm
like
so used to seeing him.
Where they started was, I think, it was perfect.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
the...
I think I'm just used to seeing Hugh Jackman in all these weird musicals and stuff. So it's kind of nice to see him back in a role like this. And it's cool because, as far as we could tell, this is a different Logan than the movie Logan, than like the Wolverine we know. So it's not like, because I think that was a big worry, is everyone's like, oh my gosh, Hugh Jackman's coming back to be Wolverine. I thought we retired his character. But the thing is, this is an entirely different character. Like, this is a different universe. This is a different Wolverine. So that's kind of crazy that you could kind of just like
the get out of my bar scene that they put him in. I was like, oh, that's like the first movie nostalgic right there.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy how like the idea behind that, where it's like I don't necessarily think Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. would like want to like come back to their roles, but they potentially could, just to be other versions of that character, right? It's like such a interesting concept. I mean, we've already seen in the What If
Robert
show.
Downey as
we've seen like
Iron Man would be like awesome.
Yeah, because I mean, like we have seen. There's obviously.
Is it Tom Cruise?
Yeah, Tom Cruise was a rumor when Multiverse of Madness.
Cool I want Chris Evans as Human Torch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. That'd be so funny. That'd be crazy.
So perfect.
But yeah, it's like crazy how it's like obviously you have different actors playing different characters. Like they've already said, like John Krasinski being Fantastic Four in one universe, you know, we're gonna have Pedro Pascal in a different universe. Like, so there is like a level of like, oh, they may look different and be different, but then there's still a lot of them where it's like they do just look the same. They're basically the same actor or same person. So yeah, it's very interesting. I like that they're finally leaning into the creativity behind all the multiverse stuff. In the last couple of years, I'll be completely honest. I'm like not even interested in like the shows that much or like some of the movies, but I think this one's going to be interesting just because I think it's finally going to kickstart the future of what the MCU is going to be with like X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
Something fresh, new, and interesting. Yeah, so that's cool. Yeah. It was a good trailer. Very radar. Yeah. Absolutely radar. Don't let your kids watch.
The last scene when she's the cocaine conversation. He's Kevin. He's like, Feige says we can't say that anymore. Like we can't do that. And then they start going over all these like slang terms, and he's like, nope.
He's like, nope. It's funny, dude. The meta jokes. There already are meta jokes in the trailer. I don't remember on the top of my head, but I've already seen like people are like pointing out certain things in the trailer. Very cool. So yeah, that's exciting. I should watch Deadpool 2.
They're giving the creator or the basically the writer, the artist that like helped popularize Deadpool. They've given him a lot of credit too, Rob Liefeld or whatever. Like, and I think that's awesome because you don't really see a lot of the like artists who make these characters who they are like get credit like that. And so there's definitely like references to him too. So I think that's like really awesome. That's like another like. That's like a love note to be like, hey, like, you know, that recognition that like some of these comic book artists go to these movies and they still have to pay for a ticket, even though like they made these characters, you know, like. So it's just neat to see the like actual like person who helped like popularize Deadpool and like who he was like. Credit.
Totally. So all very cool. We have a weirder trailer to talk about too. Transformers 1. I think we mentioned this last week, like that this was a thing. It's like. Well, what was Optimus Prime and Megatron before they were Optimus Prime and Megatron? Which is like no one asked that question, and yet they're trying to answer it. It seems like, again, kind of like the G.I. Joe crossover. It feels like very late. Like, I don't know if kids these days, like, this feels like a kid's movie. I don't know if kids these days care about Transformers. But, it's kind of, I don't know. It's not for me, but maybe for someone out there. I think the thing that threw me off is Chris Hemsworth. He doesn't sound like him, and he doesn't sound young either. It's like he sounds like Optimus Prime. He doesn't sound like young before Optimus Prime. He just sounds like Optimus Prime, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But also it's weird, like, oh, that's Chris Hemsworth. He doesn't have an accent, or he has an American accent, rather.
You can hear it a little bit, like, in his voice.
A little bit,
just,
but it's so... Weird. It just kind of sounds like a different person.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Everything about the movie's kind of weird.
They're like baby faces.
They're baby faces. It's like they had beards that they shaved, but they never had beards. They had, I don't know what you call them. But
face masks.
The weird face masks, and I'm like, can you bring that back? I don't want to see your lips. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
You don't need to, like, yeah. I don't know. I don't understand Transformers lore. I bet there's some people out there who are super into Transformers lore, and they're really interesting, like, seeing the planet they come from, and, like, all that stuff, and, like, how they learn how to transform, and how the aliens they fight, and all that stuff. I'm like, that's cool for them. I'm not that person. This ain't for me. I appreciate, though, that's animated.
I have a theory.
Appreciate.
I want to know if they think this is gonna do like what Mutant Mayhem did for Ninja Turtles. Because like getting my, so I guess I speak from like tangential experience, because I tried to get my nephew into Ninja Turtles before Mutant Mayhem came out, and like he was like, okay, I kind of know who they are, you know, like I showed him some stuff. But it wasn't until that movie then he decided, oh, like I like the Ninja Turtles now.
Heck,
so like, I wonder if they're trying to capture that same lightning in a bottle with Transformers. So it's like,
that's surprising. You know, yeah, trying to kind of do a
new.
new.
It's very Buzz Lightyear to me. Like I watched that Buzz Lightyear trailer and I was like, that sounds cool. Yeah, but like, I never watched it.
It's like
Lightyear
it is again asking a question that it's answering a question no one asked. Same thing as Buzz Lightyear, the Lightyear movie. It's like, who was Lightyear before he was Buzz Lightyear the toy? Who was the real Buzz Lightyear, who is still a fake person because it's a fictional world? Who was Optimus Prime before? Like, and I think there was a Transformers show, like cartoon, right, from a while ago.
Yes.
Oh, there's been so many.
There's been a bunch of them,
again, I kind of feel like the only people who may be interested in this are probably folks who like watch those shows and like. That was kind of like told to them, and now it's like telling that story but in a different way. Yeah, unless they're completely abandoning all that lore and coming up with something new, in which case that sucks. But
the most recent popular, I think, one that was actually decent was Transformers Prime, and even that one is like pretty old now too.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. Like
my favorite was the one where Starscream was a shark.
Which one was it? I don't know. But like even when I was a kid. Was when Beast Wars came out. And, like, I remember watching the older 80s reruns, but then Beast Wars was a thing. And then I think, 2002 or 2003 or something, they had, like, a newer Transformers series. Like, so they do this, like, every couple... I feel like once a decade, possibly. But I just know that it's going to be the older, you know, retro geeks that are really going to be all over. Mainly the toys, probably. They probably are already making... angry comments about the movie, which apparently the comments are locked now because it's a kids thing. So we can't really see the comments on YouTube, which is kind of a bummer. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I think we all kind of agree.
Kind of weird. I hope it's. I mean, I hope it's good for those who care. I just don't care. So
like there are parts of it when I look at it, like when I look at the animation and stuff, I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool. But then it's when they get into the like kitty stuff that I'm like, I know this movie's not for me. Like I'm gonna say like, you know, but I'm like that's fine. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it does anything for the franchise, like Mutant Mayhem did.
Yep.
Apparently the one I'm thinking of was called Transformers Armada and only got 2 seasons.
Oh yeah, Armada was after they did that one after that was part of like that remake run that they started doing, I think. Starscream used to be a raptor in Beast Wars, I believe. And then Megatron was a T-Rex, Optimus was obviously a gorilla like we saw in Primal. Bumblebee was
he's not a shark in that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the shark was someone else. He's definitely a red plane.
We'll find out.
It'll drive me nuts. Someone will know. Tweet.
Yeah.
#GGcast. Let me know.
Yeah.
Google for me, because you don't know either.
Yeah. Our last piece of news is, I don't know. I don't like it. Sony's apparently thinking about buying out Paramount.
Which is owned, Paramount owns Transformers.
Which,
as well,
yeah,
right?
I guess, nice
how
segue. Paramount owns a lot. Sony owns a
They
lot.
do.
And granted,
I love we said, like,
Sony...
if this happens, then it would be, like, Avatar, owned by Avatar Studios, owned by Nickelodeon, owned by
Paramount.
Owned by
Owned by
Sony.
Sony.
owned by Sony.
And then Sony would
That's
also
just-
acquire a Microsoft franchise.
Yeah,
At least,
that's
at,
crazy.
at least the TV part of it.
Oh, man.
Xbox, and you were like, no, we don't want the rights.
Xbox losing another exclusive.
Yeah.
Uh,
Immediately loses their license.
Dang.
So weird. I don't know, guys. I know that Sony, like, obviously they are most so in the, like, gaming and, like, music sort of stuff, but I don't want them to, this seems kind of a lot. I don't know. I don't like monopolizing.
I don't know if this would be part of like their Sony Pictures brand or what. Do you know?
Right,
Like, I don't know
because
if
they
that's,
have stuff. I mean, Sony Animations, like, they're big in movies, too. Like, big in movies, big in games. Like, they already have enough. Come on. You have enough. Do you
Yeah.
need more? I don't think you do. Leave Nickelodeon. Leave SpongeBob alone.
That's not how capitalism works.
Leave SpongeBob alone. I know. Monopolizing needs to... It just makes me a little nervous. Like, on one hand, sure, it'd be nice to have one streaming service with everything, but that's just cable television. You know? Oh, things are weird.
Speaking of that, we've come full circle to where these networks, or not networks, but these streaming services, are actually including live channels now.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't...
not
the
to
state
go
of
on a tangent, but like,
streaming
weird
and
now.
media is so strange. I don't know, guys, but this isn't the move, in my opinion. This seems... I don't know if I like this, but I don't know what more to say. I just don't like monopolizing. This just feels like that. It feels
Disney, like Disney and Fox level. Like,
sus. Uh-huh.
I guess somehow it works, but it's still slightly confusing. So, like, I think that's what'll happen for this too.
Basically.
Because I know everyone was really worried about it. It's Transformers Energon.
Ah,
That's
okay.
such a
Which was
stupid
a direct
name.
sequel to the other one. Armada.
That's why I said something Tron, something John. And, you know,
Not
like,
very
it's
anime,
just-
and I
You
like
throw Tron, you throw the word Tron or on or something. It's like that's how you make a Transformer.
Yeah. Tron,
Yep.
Autobahn.
Uncle Bot, yeah.
We can move on. Let's move on.
Okay.
We're done.
Yep.
Please.
We're done.
TV shows. I'll start with TV shows. You didn't watch Shogun, LJ?
I need to catch up on it. That's one of those shows, like, I feel like I can only watch, like, when, like, I'm not being interrupted or I have nothing going on. It's usually my weekend. It's been my weekend show, but I've been really busy, like, the last, like, 3 weekends.
Well, you've
So
only got one more episode to come out.
I need to finish it. I'm, like, yeah, like, I regret not watching as much of that show as, like, I've been so slow on it.
I'm so hooked. I watched it the day that it released.
Yeah.
Last week, which is Tuesday.
Nice.
And I was so upset because I was watching on Thursday, so it didn't seem like it was that long of a wait. But now it feels like it's been forever.
I got some
and
stuff
it was
to
the
finish,
penultimate
too.
episode, so like
I've heard
real
it's-
hard.
I've heard it's getting real good now. It's real good now.
Yeah, it's been good. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
mean,
if they had-
it was where it's been good since episode 1 to me. It's one of those shows where it's like, I feel like I cannot be interrupted. I have to pay attention to everything that's going on. Like that's how I watch that show.
I read a thing that says it's what Game of Thrones should have been, and I think by name, I don't necessarily think it needed to be what Game of Thrones is, but like it's such a chess match, the entire show.
And it's got a concise story too, like that has already been told.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess Game of Thrones technically did too, but they, obviously went off the rails with Game of Thrones because it's like they got to a point where it wasn't finished, right? With Game of Thrones, is that what the case was?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
The book wasn't finished, and they
Right.
finished the show.
So Shogun
Yeah.
had a start and a finish, because it was based off of one book.
In name, it's literally Game of Thrones. So Shogun is the ruler of Japan, a name
Right.
for a ruler of Japan. There are no shoguns right now, given the show, and it's a fight for who is going to become
Yeah,
Shogun.
because all they have is like a council, like it's almost like a democracy, almost the way they have it set
Yeah,
up. Like
because the kid that would be emperor or whatever, I don't think he would be a shogun because he's not a conqueror.
right,
I think that's the wrong word, but he's not old enough to lead, so they have a council leading.
Yeah.
But everyone on the council wants to be shogun,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's this like chess match. I mean, literally of who's going to become the shogun,
and then that's even you get like the clergymen involved in like the like Catholics and stuff like that too are trying to move in as well. So it's like
who's going to rule
Yeah.
Japan. It's so neat to watch. Just I don't know. I love
I
stuff like this.
I hate
where
the Game of Thrones
story
comparison, but it's most accurate here because that's literally the plot.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of, and I never finished House of Cards, but House of Cards is very much like this, where it was like, nothing made sense. You're like, why would you do that? But things started to fall into place, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that was what you planned the whole time. That's so cool. And I love shows like that where it's like they're just setting the board, and then you see the whole picture at the end of it, and go, oh wow.
Yeah, that's a show I feel like I got to clear my schedule for is the problem. Like I love it that much where I'm like, I don't want this interrupted.
Yeah. It was solid. One more episode coming out tomorrow as we're recording this. It'll have come out yesterday by the time this is released.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Very mature. They have a lot of like red light district stuff happening. And that gets pretty intense, but plus all the violence. It's very gory too.
Oh yeah.
But good show. And keeps my focus. Love it as an ADHD person because I have to read the subtitles.
Yes.
But it's not all subtitled. So I don't lose interest.
You know what's wild too is I've gotten to a point where I have subtitles on some shows now. Like I don't know if it's just a volume thing, but for whatever reason, like I see the benefit of like having closed captions like now as well.
Yeah, I've been running closed captions too. I had a bunch of friends that did that, and it just kind of ended up being a thing that I do as well. Just having captions on all the time. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like I'm catching more
than it used to be too.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm catching more that I would have missed if I'm like, oh,
right.
I got to turn up the volume.
You'll hear like murmurs that are happening at the beginning of a scene that you're not even like supposed to really like understand. Then they capture it for you. It's so cool.
I don't do it for everything, but like Shogun is definitely one of them because like I'm already reading subtitles anyway. So I'm like, why don't I just have it on for like everything? So
I think I have subtitles on for everything. It's just become a norm in our house. Like I said, a bunch of my friends were doing it. When we'd bring friends over, they're like, can we have captions on? And so we stuck with it. We watched a movie on accident in theaters with captions on, and that was awesome.
That's crazy.
I was like, can we just do this always, please?
Yeah, right? Thank you.
Yeah, it was neat. That's all that I've been really watching. I've just been staying up on my Shogun. Too busy playing Stardew and working. I mean, we're a ton of working lately.
Yeah.
LJ, what have you been watching?
I don't really have like a strong update for like Fallout necessarily, but I'm watching that show slowly too, and oh gosh, it is so good. I think it's watchable even if you haven't played the Fallout games, because like I had one of my coworkers, like she was asking me questions about it, like because she started watching it and with her husband, she's like, "Have you played these games?" And he's like, "No, not really." Like they started watching it, and so the next day she came back asking me questions that like I was able to answer because I played the games, but it's not like I told her, I'm like, I explained it's not like you're lost in anything because it's a whole new story. You don't have to know like these names or references of stuff necessarily. Like I was able to provide more context, which I think was cool. Of the world, because the world is literally set in the same world as the video games. So it was just neat for me to just be like, I just kind of gushed about it for a minute, and I'm like, okay. Like, I was like, this and the, like, so she was asking me, like, okay, so what about the Vault people? And I was like, I got to explain, oh, yeah, there's multiples of those in the whole country and things like that. Like, and Amazon, I mean, they've done really well to provide context, like, timelines and stuff like that. And, I mean, obviously, it's an alternate, future history and stuff, but it's been a really fun time for that. Like, again, this is a time for where us gamers can, like, shine a bit and, like, oh, I'm the guy you're coming to now that you used to pick on in school. And now you're asking me questions about, like all these geeky movies and TV shows that are coming out. So, geeks are geek culture, not pop culture now. Like our mission is accomplished. And then X-Men is really good still. They took it slow this episode. I think they kind of went off to the side to finish up to work on another plot line for episode 6. But it wasn't really filler, but it was also like, okay, like this is what happened to this character kind of thing, or this is what this character is doing. So I'm curious to where they go forward with it and just see how they continue it. So that is the one show I absolutely make time for is X-Men. Even if I don't get to watch it that morning, I'm definitely watching it Wednesday. So like Wednesdays when it comes out. So yeah, that's the big one for me right now. So yeah, that's what I've been watching.
I need to catch up on Fallout. I've not watched any of it yet.
It's so good.
I want to. What have you been watching, Shelley?
Not much at all. A little more Clone Wars. I think just my reflection so far of the show.
You hadn't started it, I think, when we last.
Oh, I thought I had. Anyway,
I think you said you were. I think you guys talked about it in.
Seen a couple episodes at this point. Not very far at all. We're not like super hardcore watching it. It's more just like, hey, we have nothing else to do. My husband's playing Unicorn Overlord most of the time anyway. But I think my reflection so far is just how wildly different the characters are. Obi-Wan's the same. Obi-Wan's the same in the show as he is in the movies, but like Anakin is like really different. And obviously there's a lot of like character development that's supposed to be going on. So like sure, maybe by the end of the show Anakin will be more like the Anakin we know. But it's supposed to take place, it's supposed to take place.
This show might make you like Anakin more than like the movies did.
That's what everyone says, and I get it because I'm like, he does seem more likable here, but it's just crazy. I'm like, it feels like a totally different character, and I'm like,
you get more time.
That's kind of a bummer.
You just don't really get that much time with him in the movies, so it's like you only see the snippets,
So like maybe by the end he'll have more of that darker side coming out, which would be cool. I'm sure that has to happen, right? And then there's also like Ahsoka, who it's funny because like I only really know her from live action, and like I haven't even seen the Ahsoka show. I only really know her just from Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And sort of same thing. I'm just like, this seems like a totally different character. But I know entirely that like she's meant to kind of being an annoying little teenager at the beginning of the show. And she gets a lot of character development. She kind of grows up a lot. Yeah. And by the time it's Mandalorian, like she's an adult. So like I get that that's valid. I think it's mostly Anakin because it's like I feel like we know Anakin in the movies really well. But it's character development.
At the end of the day,
it's the beginning of the show.
Like Ahsoka is like a major focus of Clone Wars. Like I know everybody is
totally. And then but yeah, Obi-Wan's Obi-Wan. That's cool. Yoda seems like Yoda, the rest of the characters.
Even Obi-Wan gets some really cool plot lines, like that's like I'm like, ooh, okay. Like it gets, like I like Obi-Wan a lot more too.
That was the show that made me realize I was like, the Jedi aren't like good people.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they do a good job showing that for sure. Like even the first couple episodes when Anakin and Ahsoka are like, hey, can we go save our friends? And they're like, no, it's you might reveal us, and that's not okay.
Yoda becomes like conflicted with it too, like it's just like seeing
you can't have attachment. And it's like, okay, but people are dying because your lack of attachment.
But then it's also heartbreaking knowing like seeing more of these clones, right? And they are all characters. They're all people, and they have relationships. A lot of them like with the Jedi or with like people who are doing that, and then the fate that they're gonna have. Like, so that's kind of tragic as well. Yeah. It's all good though. Not much besides that.
Sure. Cool. We will get into the TV news then. Couple things here. Fallout must be doing well because it has been greenlit for a second season. I actually think it's doing extremely well on Amazon from what I've read.
Yeah.
The second season really isn't that surprising. Again, need to get caught up on it. I'm excited to watch it. Anything to add on that? I don't know if that's...
I mean, it's more than ever. People are really getting back into the video games. Like people are actually taking a second look at Fallout 76, which I feel like for the last couple of years, I've been one of the few people saying like, "Hey, this is actually a good game now." Like it's, I know it took a while, but it's actually good now. A lot of people are just getting back into like, oh, where should I start? Like, and wanting to get into this world, and that's exciting. Like people who've never like played one of these games or have been like interested. I joked about even getting my stepdad an Amazon Luna controller so he can play one of them on the Fire Stick if he really wanted to. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's all.
The other piece of news is a weird one. Sega is making a TV show with Comedy Central, which Comedy Central already has its own connotation. You tell me animated show on Comedy Central, and I feel like I know.
That's going to be hard.
But it's Golden Axe, which is apparently a game that came out in 1989. I've never played it. LJ, you played a little bit of it.
This was one of the first games I think I ever played on Sega Genesis. Like this and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Yeah, so it's like this is what like I cut my teeth on this game right here. Like, and it's already in itself like a fantasy like Conan kind of parody as well. Like I said earlier, the main character's name is Axe Battler, and one of the dwarf characters is Gilius Thunderhead, and then like the main villain, his name is Death Adder. Like it's like ADD, like the word add. So it's like it's already kind of a parody in itself, but it's just one of those games where it plays like Double Dragon or like Streets of Rage. It's a classic beat 'em up game. That's definitely I know
him riding a bird.
Was it? You could have.
He's got a big fat chocobo he's riding.
So there are these weird like dragon looking things that they ride in the game. So this was like one of the first like beat 'em up games to have like a mount. Like you could hop on dragons and like light people on fire or whatever. Like, and it wasn't like super violent. You could just shoot fireballs or whatever. But it's already I think
we need our own Yoshi.
Right. And so I'd say like I'm not really surprised because it's like I said, it's already kind of a parody in itself. So like I think of like Conan when I think of like Golden Axe. So to me, like at first, because I was scrolling through, like I was doing news last minute, and I was scrolling through just to see what we had, and I was like, huh? Like I was like, wait, Golden Axe, what? So like part of me was like, oh, I'm gonna geek out about that because that's like I have attachment to it. Comedy Central, I feel like it definitely does throw me off because I would expect maybe like a streaming service to pick up something like this. But Comedy Central to me is like, okay, it's kind of odd, but I could see how I could see how it could work. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the last properties. Like I know that like Sega has this initiative of like they're trying to make new versions of some of their old games. Like there's literally going to be a new Golden Axe game that they showed like a snippet of, which kind of got me geeked out a little bit because they did a trailer like a few months back where they're doing a new Crazy Taxi, they're doing a new Jet Set Radio, Golden Axe, and
I was so up for Crazy Taxi.
Oh yeah, I still play Crazy Taxi. Like that's one of those games like I probably play like once or twice, like once a month possibly.
If I see an arcade game, I'm picking that up.
Oh yeah, like I have that game on my Xbox. I got it on Steam. Like I got it on everything I could possibly have it on. But yeah, so it's just kind of like when I saw that, I was like, huh, okay, like all right, let's see what they're gonna do with it. So
well, I wonder maybe the TV show might be connected to the game. Then the reboot that would be cool.
I don't know. The game looked like it was halfway like. From the snippet I saw, it didn't look really goofy. It just looked like a standard action game. But I'm like, hey, if they want to do this, like if they... The last Golden Axe game, let me say this, is... I think it came to PS3 and 360, and it was called Golden Axe Beast Rider. And they tried to do their own thing where they tried to center it on like Beast stuff again. And it was a single-player game, which is really weird. So like they tried something. So it's just... I'm like, okay, like, is this how you want to bring back the franchise? Like, all right, like, they're trying something new, in my opinion, instead of, like, trying something that's already been done before, or, like, putting it in this genre. Like, you could easily make, like, I don't know, like a God of War clone, or some kind of, like, co-op action, like, service game, or something, like, like, if that's how you wanted to bring it back. But, like, a TV show that's, like, going to be probably funny and a parody, like, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of down for that. Yeah.
See how it goes. I'm curious.
I never thought I had so much to say about that. I'm like, okay, all right. If anybody knows what they're talking about, it's gonna be me. So it's like, all right.
We'll end the podcast to that. Are you guys geeking out about anything else this week?
Nope.
Awesome. All right. Well, Shelley, where can they find you at?
Find me on Twitter at TheShellShock24.
And LJ?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter under LJ the Paladin.
And you can find me on Instagram at Cody Armour. Keep gaming, keep praying, and God bless.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. We love hearing from you, so feel free to ask us questions or just comment on the show by using the hashtag GUGcast on Twitter or by joining the GUGcast questions channel in the Geeks Under Grace Discord. If you like this episode, consider leaving a review or rating of our show on your favorite podcast app. If you want even more Geeks Under Grace, you can always go to geeksundergrace.com. We love you all so much, so thank you for listening.